Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to Fundations Unit 8, Week 1, Day 1. So we are starting a new unit, which means that we have new things that we're going to be learning about with spelling and reading. So before I tell you what we're going to be learning about, let's do some drill practice. All right, so remember, you're going to echo what I say. Here we go. A, acorn, A. E, me, E. I, hi, I. O, no, O. U, pupil, U. U, flew, oo. Y, cry, I. Y, baby, E. Now you're going to be seeing something new. Are you ready? A, R, car, R. O-R, horn, or. Ooh, so we have not seen A-R and O-R on our magnet board yet. So we are going to be learning about A-R and O-R as our controlled vowel syllables. So we're going to be learning about a new kind of syllable. So A-R and O-R. But let's finish up with doing some review of our short vowel sounds and some consonants. So our short vowel sounds, remember, we see those short vowel sounds in closed syllables. And we are going to wrap it up by doing some consonants. All right. Remember to echo what I say. A, apple, a. E, ed, e. I, itch, I. O, octopus, ah. U, up, And our consonants. F, fun, f. G, game, g. H, hat, h. J, jug, j. Remember, with that G and that J, we want to cut it off before we say It's j, not ja, and it's g, not ga. All right, Smarties. So what I just said is that we are going to be practicing reading and spelling words that have R-controlled vowels, A-R and O-R. So we have seen this in a poster before. A-R, car, R. So with these syllables that have those R-controlled vowels, that vowel is not a short vowel sound or a long vowel sound. It's being controlled by the letter R. So yesterday we had lesson 1 with talking about AR and OR as R-controlled vowel syllables. So we have a word of the day that has an R-controlled vowel syllable. All right, and we are going to talk about how to mark up these syllables. All right, so here is our word of the day. Our word of the day is harm. Harm. Let's clap the syllables in harm. Harm. It's one syllable. So I can scoop that as one syllable. Now, when we mark up words, if it's an R-controlled vowel syllable, it's going to get an R. That lets us know it's an R-controlled vowel syllable. So our R-controlled vowel is A-R, and I'm going to circle that, A-R. So R, harm. What does the word harm mean? That's a vocabulary word. It's a word we're going to put in our student notebook. So what does the word harm mean? It's an action word. So what do I do if I harm someone or something? It means that I'm hurting something, right? If I harm someone, that means I am hurting them. And that is something we do not want to do. So harm means to hurt or injure something or someone. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to go ahead and get your student notebook out, and we are going to open to page 50. So go ahead and get your student notebook open to page 50. All right, Smarties, so we are open to page 50 in our student notebooks, and we are going to write the word harm. And notice that I marked up my word harm. And right now in Wit and Wisdom in our reading, we are learning about Johnny Appleseed. So I used him as an example for using the word harm. I said Johnny Appleseed did not harm animals. Remember, when you're writing a sentence, you start with a capital letter. And notice that the A is capitalized because that is the name of a person. So Johnny Appleseed did not harm animals. And I made sure to have punctuation at the end. Johnny Appleseed did not harm animals. All right, so that was our word of the day, harm. We are going to move on to practicing spelling and reading words with this AR and OR. So what I need you to do is I need you to get your whiteboard and your marker, and we are going to practice spelling these words. So I am going to spell them on my whiteboard, but I'm also going to be showing you what it looks like on a magnet board. So we're going to do something funky for this part of the lesson. So we are going to practice writing a word with that R-controlled vowel syllables. So for example, the first word that we are going to build is born. Let's tap out the word born. Elbows up. B or n. Born. So b, b. What R-controlled vowel says or? O-R, born. All right, so this is the word born. Born. It's one syllable. It's an R-controlled vowel syllable, and O-R says or. If I were to show that on a magnet board, it would be b, or. So notice it's like a vowel card, b, or, n. Born. Okay, so it's one syllable, but it is an R-controlled vowel syllable. On your board, I want you to change the R-controlled vowel. What is the other R-controlled vowel that we've introduced? We've talked about A-R and O-R. So if I change it to A-R, what word did you make, Smarties? B-R-N. Barn. That is a real word. That's not a nonsense word, right? So barn, that's a place where animals can live, or we can store things that we're not using at the time. So barn, it's an R-controlled vowel syllable. All right, the next word I need you to spell on your board is farm. R-M, farm. So go ahead and spell that on your board. I'm going to get another marker. Okay, farm. R, it has an R-controlled vowel. What R-controlled vowel does farm have? A-R. So it has R, farm, and it's an R-controlled vowel syllable. So if I were to show that on my magnet board, we would have R, farm. Now I want you to change the word farm to form. Or form. Change it to form. What is the only letter you're going to change? That O. It's still being controlled by that R. So or form. Great job. And let's do one more. I want you to build the word pork. Pork. So or pork. Pork. All right. And I'm going to mark up the syllable. So pork is one syllable and it has an R controlled vowel. All right. Show me pork in 3, 2, 1. Pork. So remember, CK goes after a short vowel sound. So it's only going to end with a K. So p or k, pork. What is the R controlled vowel? Oh, R. Now I want you to change the word pork to park. P-ark, park. All right. Show me the word park. P-A-R-K. It's still one syllable. It's R controlled vowels. A-R says R. And remember with A-R and O-R, those R controlled vowel syllables, the vowels are not short or long sounding. Now, I'm going to show you an example of a word that has the sound or in it, but it has something different. This is the word core. When you look at this syllable, core, what do you notice in this word? What kind of syllable is this? It's a vowel consonant E. Now, that it's still saying or, but let's say I switched it to the word corn. Corn. So that OR is in the middle of the word. So corn, it doesn't have an E. Now, when we see ORE in a word, it always goes at the end. So for example, on my magnet board, I'm going to write tor. T or O-R-E, tor. Notice that that ORE is at the end, but let's say something was torn, T or N, torn. Where is that letter in? Torn. So when we hear that OR at the end of a word, it is ORE. But if we hear that OR or in the middle of a word, it does not get that silent E. So tore, torn. Now, if you still have your whiteboard, go ahead and use it. I don't think that my Smarties have those R controlled vowel magnet tiles yet. So you can use your whiteboard for this activity, or if you do have those tiles, go ahead and get your magnet board out, and we're going to practice spelling words that have that or at the end of a word and or in the middle of a word. So let's write another word. I want you to spell the word born. Born. Let's tap it. Elbows up. B or N, born. Go ahead and write or build the word born. All right, and show me your magnet board or your whiteboard. So born, B or N. The OR is in the middle, and it is what kind of syllable? It's an R controlled vowel syllable. So B, B, or OR, N, born. Born. OR says or. Good job, Smarties. The next word I want you to spell is more. Or more. More. Think about where you hear or in that word. Or more. I want more ice cream tonight. More. All right, so more. That OR is at the end of the word, so it gets that silent E. So if I were to clap the syllables for more, it's one syllable. And what kind of syllable is it, Smarties? It's a vowel consonant E. So vowel consonant E, more. All right, the next word I want you to build is store. Store. Or store. Think about where you hear or in that word. Or store. All right. So what says S? What says T? What says O? What says or? OR, but where do we hear or? It's at the end, so it is a vowel consonant E. Store. Store. Okay, now listen really closely what I want you to do. I want you to change store to chore. So or chore. Change store to chore. All right. All right, are you ready, Smarties? All right, show me your word chore. Oh, the only thing that changed was our beginning sound. So chore. So we have that digraph CH. That ORE stays the same because that or is at the end. All right. And your last word I want you to write or build is storm. Storm. Let's tap it. Or storm. Go ahead and write or build the word storm. All right. So storm is an R controlled vowel syllable because where do we hear or? In the middle of the word. So or storm. So it's just OR. So friends, when you hear that or at the end of a word, not always at the end of a syllable, but at the end of a word, it's going to have that ORE. All right, Smarties, that is it for Unit 8, Week 1, Day 2. Remember to keep that growth mindset. Good learners do hard things, and I'll see you soon with another lesson. Happy learning, Smarties.